Hello friends, today I teach you that class 5 EVS chapter 3, the topic from tasting to digesting. Let's start the chapter with the story of Jhumpa, Jhulan and their mother's kitchen. When mother served dinner to both of them, then Jhumpa ran to her mother and deigned to eat bitter gourd. Instead, she asked her mother to serve her roti and jaggery. Then her mother and Chulan explained Jhumpa to taste different foods and not to have only one food every time. They played a game. Let's then we also listen about that. Where Jhumpa had to guess the name of the food item by tasting with closed eyes. Julan took a few drops of lemon. You know about that lemon is very what? Very sure. The lemon juice in a spoon, then jaggery and other food items one by one and put into Jhumpa's mouth. Jhumpa guessed these food items easily, like lemon has a sour taste, then jaggery has a sweet, and Jhumpa guessed fried fish without even tasting that, because some food have a very strong smell. Then Jhulan mouth and started watering when she heard the word Imli. When does your mouth water? List 5 things you like a eat and describe it, their taste. Usually the children like following these things like taste sweet, chips is the very salty, ice cream like very sweet, and samosa it has a very spicy dish. Do you like only one kind of taste or different ones and why? Now we like different kinds of taste. Only one kind of taste can be very boring. Yes or no? Julian put a few drops of lemon juice in Jhumpa's mouth. Do you think we can make out the taste with just a few drops? Yes, just a few drops of sour things are enough to make out the taste. If someone were to put a few seeds of some on our tongue, then what happened? Would you be able to tell with your eyes and closed and how? Yes, we can recognize some food items by their smell also. How did the Jhumpa make out the fried fish? Can you guess the names of the certain things only by their smell or without seeing or tasting them? What are the things? Jhumpa made of out the fried fish by its only smell. Why? You know about that? Because her very strong smell. Yes, we can guess many things only by its smell like fish, omelette, samosa, bhaji pakoda, etc. Has anyone ever told you to hold your nose before taking a medicine? Why do you think they tell you to do this? Because our sense of smell helps us to get the complete taste of food. Closing our nose masks the bitter taste of medicine to some extent. Then we do another thing, close our eyes and tell. Okay, our tongue helps us to taste different food items. There are some places in our tongue like taste bud where we can recognize a particular taste more than the other taste. For example, the tip of our tongue can recognize sweet taste, upper the place is salty taste, and above it we can recognize sour taste. Near the throat area of tongue, bitter taste. For this reason, we get bitter taste only during the swallowing the medicine. One at the time, put some things to eat in other parts of your mouth, under the tongue, on the lips, on the roof of the mouth. Did you get any taste there? No, we do not get any taste on other part of the mouth. Use a clean cloth to whip the front part of the tongue. Whip part of the tongue so that is very dry. Put some sugar and jaggery there also. Could you taste anything? Why did this happen? You know about that? No. Listen, I will tell you, we could not taste anything. That is because there was no saliva is there. Saliva also is a thing which is situated in our mouth. When the food mixes with our saliva, then only we get its taste, because it helps to create a particular taste with a food. Okay. How would you describe the taste of this tomato, onion, samp and garlic? Here is some food name like tomato, onion, samp and garlic. Tomato's taste is what? Sweet and sour and juicy. Onion, it is a pungent, and samp, it is very sweet and with a nice smell. And garlic also very bitter with the pungent smell. When Jhumpa tasted some of the things, she said, okay, the possibly she might have what? What can she take? I think might have been eaten in chili. Why don't you make sound that describe some the taste? Let's we some expression of some sound and food's name. Like yummy, 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 yummy. Sweet items like ice cream and jalebi, etc. And here is another sound also, slurp, like this, that noodles, kheer, etc. And that is the sound of the sour things like pickles. Then we know about that. We know about that the what is difference between chewing and that the chewing well. Each of you take a piece of bread or roti or some cooked rice, put it in your mouth, chew it 3 to 4 times and swallow it. Did the taste change as you chewed it? No, the taste is not changed as the food is not chewed properly. Now take another piece or some rice and chew it in the 30 to 32 times. Is there any change in the taste after chewing so many times? Yes. The roti starts tasting sweet as the food is chewed properly and mixed while with the saliva. Okay? Has anyone at home told you eat slowly and to chew well so that the food digests properly? Why do you think they say like this? Chewing the food help in proper digestion of food in our stomach. Imagine you are eating something hard like green guava. What kinds of the changes take place in it the form of the time you bite a piece and put it in your mouth to when you swallow it. At that time of biting a piece of guava, it tastes tangy and butter, but after chewing it 30 to 30 minutes or times, it is changed, means its taste was already sweet. Okay? Think, what does the saliva in our mouth do? Saliva helps in proper chewing from food and hence easier in swallowing. Then here is that the picture of how the food's digestion with our go into our mouth and in our stomach. Okay, here is a picture is tongue, teeth, and what is saliva? Look at this picture, that is a saliva. Okay, then how the food enters our mouth. Teeth helps to chew the food. Then tongue. Tongue what to do? The tongue helps us in 4 ways. Helps the food to move from left to right and right to left for proper chewing. Helps to mix the saliva with the food. Pushes back the food for swallowing. Saliva mixes with the food and makes it soft. Then how do you feel when you are very hungry? How would you describe it? For example, listen. Sometimes we jokingly say, I am so hungry, I could eat an elephant. Okay. When I am hungry, some strong sound like good sound comes from our stomach. My heart also feels very dizzy. How do you come to know that you are hungry? I get a strong feeling to eat something. Think what would happen in you do not eat anything for 2 days. Have you any idea? No. I will tell you. I think if I do not eat for 2 days, I may become weak and fall sick. Would you be able to manage without drinking water for 2 days? Where do you think the water that we drink goes? Means after drinking water, then where do it goes? Okay. No, I will not be able to manage even for day also without water. The water is used for various function of our body, and the extra water is removed from our body in the form of sweat and urine. Okay. Then another story is here about the Nitu was given a glucose drip. And I also clear here that what do you mean by glucose drip. Nitu was very sick. All day she was vomiting and she also had loose motion. Her father gave her sugar and salt solution. By evening, Nitu was feeling weak and dizzy. When she get off to go to the doctor, she fainted. You know why it's happened? Because the loss of many water of our body. Her father had to carry her to the doctor. The doctor said the Nitu should get admitted in the hospital. She needs to be given a glucose drip. Hearing this, Nitu got confused because she think about that. She knew that the games period in school, the teacher sometimes gave some glucose to drink. But what was a glucose drip? Doctor Auntie explained, your stomach is upset. Your body is not keeping any food and water and it has become very weak. The glucose drip will give you some strength quickly even without eating anything. Okay. Then what happened? Here is, look at the picture. Here is that glucose and that in the down here is a stomach picture, and that another side here is a glucose drip. What do you mean glucose? What is the difference between glucose and glucose drip? Glucose means it's a powder which is soluted with water and we put it after some time its digestion in our stomach, then it's happen function and we get some energy. But a glucose drip is a very slow thin pipe and go throughout our blood and we get immediately energy. And here is another story, a stomach with a window. In the poem, you read about a soldier called Machin. In 1822, he was 18 years old and was very healthy. When he was shot, he got a seriously hurt. At that time, Dr. Beaumont was called to treat him. Okay. Dr. Beaumont cleaned the wound and poured the dressing. After 1.5 years, the doctor found that Matrin's wound had held except for one thing. What is that thing? He had a big hole in his stomach. The hole was covered with a loose flap of skin, like the washer in a football. Press the skin, and you could peep into the Matrin's stomach. Not only that, the doctor could also take out food from stomach by putting tube into it. Another side, the Dr. Beaumont felt he had found a treasure. Can you guess how? Much time he spent doing the different experiment on the stomach. 9 years during this time, Machin grew up and got married. At that time, scientists did not know how food was digested. How does the liquid in the stomach help in the digestion? But now we know about that, how the food is digestion in our stomach. Does the liquid in the stomach help, and does it only help in making the food wet and soft, or does it also help in digestion? Dr. Beaumont took some liquid, means the juice out of his the stomach. He wanted to see what would happen to a food item kept in a glass filled with it. Okay? Then, would it get the digested on its own? For this, he did another experiment. What is that experiment? With the help of a tube, he took out some digestive juice from the stomach. Which stomach? That matron stomachs. Okay. At 8:30 am. He put 20 tiny pieces of boiled fish in 10 milliliter of the juice. He kept the glasses at the same temperature as that of our stomach, about in 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. When he checked at that 2 p.m. Okay, he found that the pieces of fish had dissolved. Dr. Beaumont tried this experiment with different food items. He gave Martin the same food at the same time and then compared how long it took for. Means the with the glass, the full of the glass of the juice and the stomach, Martin stomach. Okay, then let's go ahead. Food to be digested in the glass and in Martin's stomach. He recorded his observation in a table. Listen, here is a table also and you find out this one. Here is a part of his that observation table. First I write here that the food items that means that unboiled milk which is took time in the digestion in our stomach for 2 hours 15 minutes. But in the glass with digestive juice, it took time 4 hours 45 minutes. Means the double time, which is took the time in our stomach and it is took the time in a glass of juice. It's a double time. Okay. Here is the different type of foods and different time also took to dissolve. So, what does our stomach do? Dr. Beaumont did many experiments and found out many secrets about digestion. What are they? He found that food digests faster in the stomach than outside. Did you notice this in the table? In the previous table. Okay. Your stomach churns the food to digest it. It is also noticed when matron is upset, food doesn't get digested properly. Juice in our stomach is acidic. Have you heard of anyone talking about acidity? You know? No, listen. I will tell you, especially when that person has not eaten well or the food is not digested properly. Again, especially when that person has not eaten well or the food is not digested properly. Dr. Beaumont's experiment became famous in the world. After this, many scientists did many experiments. They did not wait for a patient with a hole in the stomach. After that, they clear all that things. Okay? They used other scientific ways to look inside our bodies. Did you like the story of Martin or sound wishy? The story of our own stomach. Here is, look at the picture. Here is the two children's. One name is that Rasmi and another is that the Kailas. Rasmi was 5 years old, but he looks about only 3 years old. You know why it's happened? She has a very thin arms and legs and pot belly. What do you mean by pot belly? Pot belly means the stomach likes a balloon. She often falls sick. She always feels tired and cannot go to school regularly. She doesn't have the strength even to play. And what she took that food, about that food? She is lucky if she can get a little rice or one roti to eat in the whole day. And about the Kailas was in the for 7 years old, but he looks older than his age. His body is fat and flabby. He has pain in his leg and he can't play any times and he is not very active. He goes to school by bus, spends many hours watching TV. And what's he took that food? He does not like to eat home cooked food like dal, rice, vegetables, roti. The only thing he finds tasty are the chips, burger, pizza and soft drinks from the market. He is very interested for this food. Okay. Then why do you think Rasmi could eat only one roti in this whole day? Rasmi is too poor to afford a proper meal. That's why she could not eat only one roti in a day. Do you think Kailas would like games and sports? No, Kailas would not like games and sports. His fat and flabby body shows that he hardly does any physical activities. Physical activities means in that the outdoor games, running, jumping, like this. Okay. What do you understand by proper food? Listen. Adequate and the nutritious food according to one's body need makes the proper food. It's called the proper food. Why do you think that the food of Rasmi and Kailas was not proper? Rasmi is not getting adequate amount of food and Kailas is taking too much amount of food which is not required by his body. Then talk with your grandparents or elderly people and find out what they ate and what work they did when they are of our age, means your age. Now think about yourself, your daily activities and daily diet. I also tell here something. Are these similar or different from what your grandparents did and ate? What are they ate in that time? Our grandparents used to eat rice, dal, green vegetables, fresh fruit like this. They used to do a lot of physical activities, but that modern time it's can't. And involved in outdoor games also. The modern time has changed. We do eat rice, dal, vegetables, etc. But we also take many junk food like samosa, bhaji, pakoda, like this. Major part of free time is spent in sitting on sofa, playing video game, watching TV, like this, and very less involvement in that physical activities. Nowadays, we all children do like this. Yes. Then, what do you mean by proper food and why that every child right? You have read about two children like Rasmi and Kailas. One is that Kailas who doesn't like homemade food and the other one is Rasmi who doesn't even get one proper meal in a day. About half the children in our country are like Rasmi. They do not get enough food that they need to grow and develop properly. These children are weak and sickly, but it is the right of every child to get proper food. Think about some discuss. Do you know any child who doesn't get enough to eat? Yes. Children living in the slums and beggars on roads do not get proper food to eat because they are very poor. Have you ever seen a godown where a lot of grain has been storage and where? Yes, godown is a place where grains are stored in a gunny bags to avail these at the time of grain storage. Then what we have learned all that thing. Here is a picture also and I told you about that and I will clear all that thing. Why can you not taste food properly when you have a cold? Because when we have cold, our nose is blocked and hence we are unable smell and taste the food properly. That's why we can't know about the food in the cold time. Okay, if we were to say that digestion begins in the mouth, how would you explain this? Here, digestion being with some following things. These are the process the salivary glands present in our mouth secretes saliva. Saliva contains the digestive juice and which helps to break down complex sugars into the simple sugars. Thus, it can be said that the digestion begins from in our mouth. Then another thing, what do you mean by the digestion? And another also different words here, and I will clear it. What do you first? I will go tell to you about the digestion. What do you mean digestion? Digestion, the process of changing food into its simplest form, so that it can be used by our body. Then taste tubes. These are sensory organs present in our tongue that allow us to taste different kinds of taste. Then churning. The churn is to shake or stir anything. Another thing also here, that saliva. What do you mean saliva? The liquid produced in mouth is called saliva. Here is three picture also. One is the taste buds, another is the churning and saliva. It is a picture about organs of the digestive system. So that food first use our tongue with our mouth, then it go through the esophagus, then it is from our liver, and where it is purified, after that it is go to our stomach. Then the proper juice food is go through the large intestine, and other that the purified non-purified juice is go through the small intestine. After that the rest, the raw material is go through our the rectums, and after that it is go through our anus. And friends, all that chapter already finished, and I think we understand, and many more things we know about that, the tasting and taste bud, and what do you mean the churning, saliva, like this. Thanks.